everyone, welcome to another plan with me for the month of March. Today we're going to start with a flip through of February, and then I'm going to show you how I set up my bullet journal spreads for March. Let's get started. So for the month of February, I started off with a cover page. It's a young woman with a cardinal bird perched on her shoulder. And on the right side, I drew the calendar and I labeled all the numbers. I wanted to give it a really pretty wintry feel because February was still really cold, and I like to use the reds and blues and purples together. And then on the next page, I drew a food tracker and I decorated it with a bunch of washi tape and washi stickers. I really like using the food tracker because it helps me kind of get an idea of what I'm eating and what I shouldn't be eating. So I'm trying to get a little bit more healthy as the weeks go on. And then on this next page, I wrote some YouTube ideas. I was gonna do a Valentine's Day special challenge, but I ended up not having enough time to go through with it. But I did make a list of 20 themes that might inspire me for future artwork, so it's good to have it there to just kind of look back on and see. Over here, I have a weekly spread, my first one for the month of February. I did a really painterly design. I used watercolors to make the wintry background and added the dates on the top. On this page, it was just me playing around with collaging different pieces of paper on here. I didn't really use this spread much. And on this page, I have my washi tape swatches from AliExpress. These were the washi tapes that were delivered in February to me. I look forward to using them more in my future spreads. And then on this page, I did a little bit of Bible journaling. I incorporated some washi tape, some doodles in pen, and I started a little color pencil drawing on the right side, but I ended up not finishing it. So hopefully in March, I'll be able to do more drawings in color pencil and just sketch more in general. And then on this page, I wrote about my Valentine's Day dinner with my husband Paul. We went to this really cool dim sum restaurant called Washi. It's by the Galleria if you live in Houston. And then here's another weekly spread. It's another vertical layout. I decided to continue with that wintry theme with the snow and the soft blues. And I drew a little cardinal bird at the top, perching on a little branch, and I painted it with watercolor. And then on this page, I just journaled a little bit about working on Valentine's Day and going to see Black Panther. That movie was so awesome. I just want to see it again and again and again. It's now one of my favorite Marvel movies that I've seen. And then on the right here, I pasted in this little flyer I got from the Lunar New Year Festival. And then here is another weekly spread. I did a horizontal layout this time, and I decided to paint these branches with snow icicles on them against a bluish background. And then here I had some new washi tape swatches. I got this Galaxy washi tape set from AliExpress again. I really love it. It's so beautiful. And if you were watching my other video, which had the mixed media, I actually used this specific tape to collage her kimono. And then this is my last weekly spread for February. I only included Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because those are the last 3 days of February. And I tried a different layout where it was horizontal, but on the side I had a little mini calendar so I can see where in the month I am. And then I had a to-do list on the side to check off really important things that I needed to get done straight away. And then on the right, I did a little Bible journaling, and I painted these pretty little red poppies with watercolor. And then the last page for February is some more Etsy brainstorming. So now let's get into my bullet journal spreads for March. Alright, so you can see here that my bullet journal is now completely full and bursting at the seams. I actually managed to fill out one bullet journal in 2 months. So for my March plan with me, I'm going to be using this really awesome watercolor set by Kuretake Gansai Tanbi. It is so beautiful. The watercolors are really opaque and they just really pop off the page when I paint with them. So they are currently my new favorites to use. So for my March cover page, I'm going to start off with 2 pieces of watercolor paper, and I'm going to draw my image onto them, and then I'm going to start watercoloring. So what I wanted to do for my March cover was to evoke the spirit of spring. So whenever I think of spring, I think of flowers blooming, lots of florals, plants, just everything just kind of growing out of the earth. So I wanted to draw a young woman in a field of flowers, and she's taking in the smell of the flowers around her. And the flowers are going to be these white blossoms, and they're set against a really lush green background. So I drew the woman first, and then I'm going to start painting her. I'm adding lots of skin tones, blues and pale pinks into her skin. And then I also drew her wearing this really big wide brim hat with some blue and white stripes, and her hair is kind of flowing in the wind, and she's just really enjoying being outdoors in nature. I'm really looking forward to when it's getting warm again, and I look forward to being outside and smelling the flowers, maybe going on a walk in the park, just seeing like all the flowers bloom again. So now I'm adding the green background. I'm using the wet on wet technique, which is a technique where you paint with watercolors. You dab a lot of wet paint next to wet paint, and if you do that, the colors are going to spread into each other and make a really pretty kind of surreal, impressionistic look. So you see I am dabbing on lots of different values of greens and yellows, and since they're both wet, they're gonna start kind of smearing into each other and blending, and it's going to turn out really nice. Then I'm adding some brown branches between some of the flowers. Then I'm adding some brown branches between some of the flowers. And now I'm going back in and adding some little dots of white into the background and just making everything come together with shadows and highlights. I'm trying to paint in all the details now. And now I'm painting in the details of her dress. I'm adding some designs on her bodice, and then I'm going in with some dark values to make the contours of her hat and her dress, and then I'm putting some shadows in her skin using some blues and grays. And then just defining her features with more bits of color. And then I'm just gonna add more shadows to the flowers, some little dots of white. I'm dotting a lot of little specks of white Just kind of give it that dreamy, lush look. And I'm really defining little bits and pieces of the painting. And now I'm gonna do the other side of my cover, which is gonna be the calendar. So I'm using the wet on wet technique again. I'm putting down the lightest color first, which is yellow. And then while the yellow color is still wet, I am dotting on some light greens and dark greens. And then they're just going to slowly blend into each other as they dry because the colors are wet. And then after they dry down, I'm gonna add some white in the background, some little dabs of white. And then once that is dry, I'm going over it with a brown branch across the top. And I'm going to paint more detailed white blossoms. So I'm putting down some whites here. And I'm just going back in with some gray on my paintbrush, and I'm defining the edges of the blossoms that I want to make kind of pop out from the background. Then I'm adding some dark leaves and some dark shadows in there to define the image a little bit more. Then some more greens. More shadows of grays, just kind of mixing them together and layering my colors. And then now I'm just defining all the edges with some dark greens and grays. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my copper metallic marker and I'm gonna fill in my cursive writing there and just define all of the pencil marks that I put down for the calendar. So here is a close-up of my cover. Once it's dried, I've pasted it into my bullet journal. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So what I decided to do this month was to make an extra calendar that was larger so that I had some space to write in the boxes the important dates at a glance. Because last time I had the mini calendar and I ended up not being able to use it because it was just a small, teeny tiny calendar with no boxes, so no room to write in. So I made this extra calendar to help myself kind of remember really important dates, especially ones for my work and my art. I have a lot of art shows and contests that I want to enter, and it would be really nice to have this big calendar to kind of keep track of due dates this month that I need to submit my work into. So I'm gonna decorate my calendar with a mixture of painting and washi tape. So I'm using the washi tape to decorate the borders, and then I'm going to use the wet on wet technique to continue that spring bloom theme that I had for my cover onto this calendar. Here's the finished calendar. I really liked how it turned out. And then on the next two pages, I wanted to create a quote page, kind of like the theme I want to keep thinking about for the rest of the month. And so on the left, I wrote, "Excellence is a habit. We are what we repeatedly do." So what I want to really emphasize and practice this month is practicing good habits. And then on the right side, I decided to make a gratitude page, and here I'm gonna just post in quotes or sayings or things that I'm grateful for this month. So for this month, I wanted to try out a mini habit tracker layout. I haven't done this before, but I'm hoping to kind of keep track of more habits that I wanted to work on this month. One of them is going to be the gym, going to the gym regularly, more consistently. And then I wanted to track how much art I was making this month. So I made an art one. Another one I wanted to track was my Bible studying. I wanted to read the Bible more and just study the word. And so I made a tracker for that. And these are some big habits that I really want to work on this month and just get into the habit of doing it a lot. On the right side here, I am making my regular food tracker. I like tracking my food, and it's been the only tracker I've kept up with so far on the regular basis. So I'm going to continue doing that. And I'm decorating it with some really cute washi tapes with little sushi cartoons and some gold and red polka dots. So I'm putting a date column, a breakfast, lunch, and dinner column. Then I'm going to number the date. Here is my habit tracker page. I decided to create a page just for brainstorming my artwork ideas. I like having a blank page where I can just kind of jot down ideas that I get throughout the day about new pieces of artwork to make. So I did a simple little cursive writing and filled it in with my copper metallic marker and decorated the borders with a green washi tape. So for this next page, I'm making a kind of YouTube brainstorming and tracking page. I really want to work on growing my YouTube channel and being able to post more videos this month. I do have a week off for spring break, so hopefully I'll be able to churn out some more videos for you guys and show you more of my creative processes. So I'm just writing out the YouTube title, and then I'm gonna put a little mini calendar on the left side. And then I have the video schedule on the bottom. I'm gonna have a section where I can just jot down some new ideas for videos that I can make for you guys. So if anyone has any suggestions of what they'd like to see on my channel, please leave a comment down below and let me know. So I'm wondering what you would like to see from me. Then I'm gonna decorate the page with some pieces of washi tape to just kind of brighten it up a little bit. So if you're not a very artistic person and you're not really good at doodling, or you're just not quite there yet, washi tape is a great way to kind of brighten up your journal and decorate it in a really cute way. So you can just buy yourself a set of washi tape from either Amazon or AliExpress, and you can really just use washi tape and practice your calligraphy, and you'll have a really cute journal to write in. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you guys how you can make stickers out of washi tape. So let's say you have a roll of washi tape that has these really cool drawings on them, like the roll that I have here, and you want to cut them out and use them as stickers in your bullet journal. But it's really difficult to just kind of cut them out straight from the roll itself. So what you can do is you can actually roll a piece of tape onto a piece of wax paper and stick it on there to make it have like a backing, like it would have for a regular sticker you'd buy from the store. And then you just cut out the outline of the drawing from the washi tape, and then you could just peel off the piece of wax, and now you have your very own sticker that you can put into your bullet journal. So it's a really easy process. So I really like these windows, and I'm gonna use them as stickers to decorate my bullet journal. So now that I've pasted in my stickers, I'm going to go back in with my Sakura black ink pen, and I'm going to fill in the mini calendar on the left side. So I'm decorating it a little bit more with some pieces of washi tape. That was my YouTube and Etsy pages. Now let's get into the weekly spread. So for my weekly spread, I'm continuing with that spring theme of the lush greens and the white blossoms. For my spread this time, I wanted to include a little mini calendar on the bottom left side, just so I can have the week that I'm on highlighted to just kind of get an idea of where I am in the month more clearly. And I'm gonna do the first week of March for this spread. I'm gonna incorporate some mixed media. I'm going to use watercolors for the top, and I'm gonna add some washi tape in there. And also I'm gonna do a little color pencil drawing of the white blossoms on the bottom right. So I really want to emphasize more mixed media this month. I like to incorporate a lot of mixed media in my own artwork, so why not do it in my bullet journal too? So for my white blossoms, I really wanted to use color pencil this time to draw them. I am shading with some blue shadows, and then I'm coloring in the branches with brown. The color pencils I'm using are the Prismacolors. They are the best color pencils I've ever used. They blend so nicely together. I'm adding dark values and some highlights, and I'm just blending different values of color together to give it a more three-dimensional look. I really enjoy drawing with color pencil and just kind of mixing it in with different other medias in the same page. It's really fun to kind of see the contrast between different mediums. So I'm continuing with some more shadows, some highlights. I'm adding some yellows to the center of the flowers. And then I'm gonna go and add some watercolor in the background. I'm trying to show some of the petals fluttering around the pages there and the lush greenery. So I'm just dabbing in different bits of dark greens, some light greens, and overlapping the colors on top of one another to give it more depth. I also decided to add some dark shadows behind the flowers to make them stand out from the background. So I'm painting in some dark greens in the background there. Just putting more shadows underneath and adding some dark leaves into the greenery. And now I'm going to dot some white into the background, and to add the finishing touch, I'm going to make a border underneath my week with some skinny washi tape. So the great thing about bullet journaling is it's fully customizable, so whatever you're into, whatever you want to try out, don't be afraid to just mix everything together. You can definitely do a mixed media piece for your weekly spreads. If you like painting and color pencil and using washi tape, why not just put it all together? And if you like markers also, you can even incorporate that into the same exact spread. So it's all about trying out new things and just having fun with it. So now I'm gonna do a final flip through for the month of March. So here are my spreads. So that was my March spread. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to share this with your friends on social media. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!